Bam, bam, bam. Welcome back everyone, to another exciting edition of the Keeping It Real with the Killer Pitchmaster Show. As you can see, sometimes technology will not let you be great. Something was happening with my computer. My other computer is the battery is not charging. I said, you know what? But the truth is, as a CEO, as an entrepreneur, things can go wrong all the time. And realizing that you can get creative, you can find a way, as Clark Atlanta's motto, you can find a way or make one. And I decided to find a different way. Shout out to my friend and business queen, Shantae Roddy, who taught me that StreamYard can now be on your phone. And so today's episode is all about, we're keeping it real. We're keeping it real about what does a real CEO journey actually look like, right? What did my journey look like? What were some of the challenges and pitfalls that I went through? I want y'all to ask me questions because I really want y'all to know, number one, I know you hear it all the time that starting businesses are so easy and all this other kind of stuff. Maybe starting it is easy, but getting the right type of clients, understanding what your value and worth is, getting other people to refer you. I don't know how easy it is if you didn't grow up with it. And so this is the Keep It Real with the Killer Pitch Master show, and I really want to share with you all the true tea on what really happens. It's hashtag Soul Sunday. And I woke up this morning because there are a lot of things that have been happening on the inside of me. Our last episode was all about, coming clean about, you know, some things that happened. But this one, as a CEO, what have I really learned? And so if you're new coming in, we welcome you. Love for you to put your name of your company if you have one, and something you want to give birth to this year. If you're returning, y'all know how we do. Drop that T and tell me why you came back for this particular episode. And then I want people to ask me questions that hopefully I'll be able to answer in the next 30-35 minutes. Okay. So don't feel silly about asking me particular types of questions. The only thing I won't do is I don't create pitches on the spot in this. This is about asking me really, the CEO journey from someone who didn't grow up seeing CEOs that look like me, that they did it in business, not necessarily sports or entertainment. What's it like to leverage? What's it like to get to the place you thought you wanted to be and realize that there's so much more? What is it like to start something that people tell you would never work? And not only did it work, you had to grow to meet something that you didn't even know you had to do. And so, as everyone, please give me your comments. Do know I'm on my phone, so I've never done StreamYard on my phone. And again, the Keeping It Real with the Killer Pitch Master is my brainchild. And being a 13-time national elevator pitch champion who's appeared on Shark Tank and, big shows, documentaries, all kinds of things, no one taught me how to get here. So there were a lot of things that I learned. Yes, I've been in acceleration, things like that. And those enhanced what I had. But really getting into the rooms that I wanted and understanding there was so much more available is not enough to say dream big, but that's why I say y'all ask bigger. Because the more you go up this ladder, you will have queens. Like I think of Kelly Charles Collins, who told me that I was not wasting time on this particular audience, but just being like, you need to be over here because these people truly understand what it is that you do. I think about my friend Emily. She's my Spelman sister. And yesterday we were on the phone and she was just like, I think there's a disconnect here. And she made me think about some of the messages that I put out. So anyway, if you have any questions, drop them. But I really want to know who's in the room. Give me your name of your company. And why would you come to this one? And drop a question. And if I'm able to answer them all, great. If not, I do want to answer 7 to 10. So I'm going to go in the comments to see if I'm missing anything. Okay, so I don't see any comments, so I'm not sure what that means. But again, I am on my phone, so sometimes you get stressed out because you can't figure out how to make things work. Well, anyway, if there are no questions, which is rare, which is kind of what made me think something was wrong, because usually when I show up on social media, there are people here. So um, for those who may have some questions, I'm going to answer some of the most basic questions, right? About entrepreneurship. Number one, was becoming a CEO what I thought it would be? No. I really thought that being a CEO, I thought being a CEO would be much easier. I thought, I would handle things that I don't think I ever allowed myself to think that people were going to be working under me. Not under me, but working with me as a team. I didn't think I'd have vendors. I didn't think I'd have I didn't think that far. I knew I had a talent. I knew I had a skill set. So when I started Curvy Girls, you start off with these things that, oh, it'll be simple. Well, it wasn't. My ability to speak in a pitch was easy. Inventory, keeping track of inventory, orders, like all those things, I don't think I gave enough credit to. What happens when supply is low? Like I didn't know all of that. And I was too scared to ask for help that would have helped me. So when I started, I had these grand dreams. Of course, I wanted to be on Shark Tank. Of course, I wanted to be all these things. But the thing I didn't factor in is that actually running a business and being the CEO are not the same. When you start off small, like I did, it was just me. I was everything. And things that I didn't know, I was too afraid to ask about. So it's important that starting off the way I did, I didn't have connections. I didn't have all of these things that people swear that you need. So I felt like I had $1 and a dream. That's all I had. And I knew it was going to be successful. I didn't calculate what steps were needed. So Curvy Girls did its thing. But then starting Perfect Peaches by Precious, that was a game changer because running two companies at the same time, you can't serve two masters. So with Perfect Peaches by Precious, I went in with the same mentality. And it wasn't until 2019, 2020, 2019, 2020, 2021 that there have been different iterations of me as a CEO. You start here and you realize you can't do it all alone. You need to have learned professionals with you. Well, how do you vet them? Who are the people that have always been in my corner who have the talent and the skill sets? What am I missing? And I always feel like as a CEO, you are missing things when you are starting. So even though it's been 10 years basically in this journey, I'm still learning. That's why having a great coach, a great business coach who's actually, that's their full-time thing, right? That's what they do, because it was hard for me to work with coaches that, could not really understand what I did, right? So when you leave it all behind as an attorney and you go ham and cheese into your dream, I wanted someone who knew what that actually felt like, to go balls to the wall, to go all in. There is no plan B. What? There's no plan B. Who knows what that feels like? Who knows what it feels like to keep the lights on and your rent paid? I wanted to work with someone like that. So God had led me to wonderful people: Danielle Fitzpatrick Cart, Ty Goodwin, Andrew Frazier, Renee Ringropsky, Dwayne Duncan, Tony Moore Esquire, Sharon Monet, Christian Kwan. So, these are the people that I'm working with now. I also have 2 interns. I also am in the C200 program. I did the Black Women's Entrepreneurial Leadership Program. Weibo, Stephen Jackson, former CEO of Workshop and Business Opportunities. So it wasn't that I was just doing this alone, but there were just certain things I was afraid to speak about. So being a CEO, there are levels to this. So you make it through the first round, you make it through the second round, but there's still more to go. And I didn't understand. I didn't understand, before you hire someone, you need to make sure you have the revenue to justify their paycheck, right? Like, you think you would know this, but how many of us have been working in positions for so long, we never quite understood that. It's not the businesses have unlimited money, but they need to bring someone in to handle this, and to have the money to be able to afford it. So they have to invest in you, in the orientation and the training and stuff like that. Things I never thought about because I was working as an attorney for someone else. So when I see things now, all I see is business. Like, how are people setting things up? What's working? You know what I mean? So there are levels to this. I just want y'all to know. Let me see. I see comments. Hold on. Mindy Dutka, pet brand photographer. Hey, hi, Precious. It's Mindy Dutka from Dogs I Meet, pet photography. Hi, Mindy. I'm so glad that you're here today. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you for being here. Adrian Clayton, as a woman of color, never simple. We can do anything if given the opportunity. That I can agree with. Adrian, thank you so much for being here. And the reason why all of this is important, y'all, is because without, like, I didn't have the education. Like, yes, I went to law school. Yes, I did all these amazing things. But what I did not know is that business is constantly changing. And when business is constantly changing, what does that mean? What does it mean? You have to be on it. Mindy, I see you. And so again, what questions do you all have about, you know, my CEO journey, or what you may be facing in your journey? Because I really want y'all to know you're not alone. I know that people tell you everything is easy. I know they do. I now know it's not. Is it easy to make money? At times it really is. When you have the right brand in front of the right customer. So you do need to have a market to sell to. You can create the greatest courses, programs, but if you have no one to sell it to, it doesn't matter. So building that brand, lead generation, those things are important. How are people seeing your content to know that you really are who you say you are? Are you mostly about yourself, or can you show what people have done? Do you have testimonials? These are things that when I started, I never thought about. When I came back to Perfect Pitches in 2019, there were certain things I knew I had to do differently. So I could not rely on testimonials from way back when. They had to be new. They had to be fresh. I knew that I had to get to certain companies, corporations, foundations, and nonprofits and get them to test me. Because as a woman of color, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I didn't come from entertainment, and I didn't come from sports. So to get the radar of big companies, how was I gonna be able to do this? How was I gonna be able to leverage relationships when they came? How was I gonna be able to stand out in a crowded marketplace? How was I gonna be able to get people to buy into what it is that I do? In fact, let me share something with you all. Now, y'all know I'm a four-time number one best-selling author, but here are two of my books right here. Again, some of y'all don't know, when we put this first book out, Sharon Monet, Pen Legacy, hashtag Pen Legacy for Life, my book coach and publisher, you don't see my cover on this. I didn't think anybody would buy it, right? I didn't think. But it blew up. Bad Bitches and Power Pitches. Second book, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches, the workbook. This is something I never thought would work. I thought, people say books can change your life, but it worked. So when people couldn't understand me, they could understand the words in these books. They could look at what I was saying online and it matched up. They could look at the relationships that I had with different companies. Once they took a chance on me, that they kept bringing me back. That meant something. However, if you would have asked me, did I really want to put out a book? No, I didn't think it would matter. And it's the things you never think that'll work that actually wind up working. That's what I think is so funny. Another thing I think is crazy about business is those businesses that have been around for 100 plus years, what have they not seen and been able to overcome? I don't believe that every business needs 100 years. Some businesses are lifestyle businesses. Some businesses are meant to stand the test of time. And every business goes through iterations. The first clients you have will probably not be the last clients you'll have in the end. The relationships that you have will grow over time. And so I'll even think about this. How many times have I been approached about talk shows, television shows with me? So many times over 20 years. The one I never thought would actually go anywhere. I'm keeping it a buck. The one I never thought would go anywhere was the one that hit. When we were shooting this new television show, before that, I was just ready to go, because I was like, so many people brought so many things to me and it's just not working. It's not moving forward. One, timing is everything. Two, I literally had to build up credibility as the killer pitch master. And I think that when I look back, everything had to happen. Those no's, those fadeaways, all of it had to happen for the one that I never thought that would take off. Here I am flying. Here I am on set. Here I am with all these great entrepreneurs that, we know from television. We know that they've made millions and billions. And I'm sitting here like the one I never thought would work. So what does it tell you about business? Sometimes the things you think won't work will be the things that hit, and the things that seem like such a surefire thing won't. So as a CEO, what are some of the things I learned about relationships? Not every relationship is worth your time and your energy and your resources. So back in the day, I associated with others who could never see me because I couldn't see myself. So I allowed certain things to go on that never should have. And I'm glad to look back because being able to walk away from those and letting those die and coming back brand new, shaking off the shackles of the past, guilt, shame, and all of that. The most beautiful thing is that I came back not to only to prove who I was, but to prove that pitching can take you so many different places. And if you hang around the wrong people or the wrong type of business owners, there's going to be jealousy, frustration, and also you're going to have moments that you don't need to engage in. I don't need to engage in fighting with anyone. I don't. None of us do. So there's some battles you're going to have. There's some battles that take place behind the scenes. And then there's some people you just got to let go of. There's some organizations you got to let go of. Because when people cannot see your value and talent, when they see all the things you're doing and still come and lowball you, think about that. Walk away. In order to get here, I had to divorce myself. I had to complete relationships and move on. So I don't know if any of y'all have any more questions. And again, this is my first time doing this on my phone. So if you have any questions, I'm just going to see. I'm going to see if this is on Facebook to see if there are any things. Because y'all know how it be. So sometimes I just got to. Okay, so I see this. I'm not okay. As I said, y'all, when I tell you these battles you're gonna have, yeah, y'all heard it. Okay, okay, hold on. Let me just do this so I can cut this off. Okay, so like I was saying, I really wanted more questions, and I also know that the first time I went live, my computer is just not acting up. Is acting up, and it was going slow. My new MacBook Pro, which I bought 2 months ago, is not charging. So again, technology can get in your way, and I'm not a techie. So being able to roll with the punches and keep it moving is amazing. You get resourceful as a CEO. You start to think like there are people that I'd love to be compared to. And there are people that there's no comparison that needs to be made because I'm not quite there yet. I didn't have the things that they had, but it only makes me use my brain to get to different places. Sometimes things are not financial. It really is the creativity to get in spaces where others never saw you, right? And so I think that that's a big deal. Another thing that I think that, not that you want to say bears repeating, is that being a CEO is not easy. I know we see sometimes that they're paid this astronomical fee, which I'm not paid what Mark Zuckerberg is paid, or Steve Jobs, or anything, or Sarah Bakley, or Oprah. None of those. But the decisions that are made at that level, most people couldn't fathom because you have people behind you. You have people who count on getting their paycheck for good service. You have, and that sits on your brain. Not only that, making sure that you're building the type of life, relationships, in addition to the business that you want. Those are things that will keep you up at night. And I think that bears repeating. You know, I used to just, love for people to call me the killer pitch master. With my new book coming out, The Pitch Queen, there's such a change there. Being a bad bitch with the power pitch got me out the gates. But being the pitch queen, there isn't this proving anymore. And that's a mind freak right there. You know what's a greater mind freak? That you're in spaces that you did not think would happen as fast as it's happening. But I also think that comes with focus and understanding that timing is everything. There are people who blew me off for years, and I get it because I wasn't where they could see me. Now it's like, oh my goodness. So now they see me. Let me follow up. Let me stay on point. That's why I thank Ty Goodwin for what she has taught me about staying on top of people. I thank Oh God, I'm forgetting my queen's name. Oh my goodness, Keita. Keita. Make sure I have her name right. So Keita, she taught me a what? Wait, why am I? I'm blanking on her name, y'all, and I'm so sorry. That maybe that's not her name. Keita. Keita, Keita. Okay, Keita. So my friend Keita Williams, she helps people go from their corporate job to the side hustle to becoming that entrepreneur. She has a program called the Corporate Escape Room, right? I met her. I actually went to her home in Brooklyn when she used to be here. That she's in Washington. She was doing Mary Kay. She was, putting Mary Kay and stuff on me. And I'm telling you, you never know how all this turns out. She went to Washington State. She was head of PR marketing for a big electronic company. She invited me to, like they were launching something here in New York. So she flew to New York, brought me in, good food, good snacks, all that kind of stuff. We then went out later because I was telling her about, Perfect Pitches by Precious, what I wanted to do. She was there when I went through my darkness. And when I came out, she said, "You're going to do it bigger." Mind you, when she met me, I thought I was dope. This is back in the day. Today, when we have conversations, she pushes me to go higher. Now, mind you, I'm not her typical person because I'm not going from a side hustle to anything. But that woman stayed with me when others dissed me. And it's funny because you think about all the people who were there. She was there. When I call her, yo, we be going personal, relationship, business, like it's all in the same conversation. And I'm proud of her because she never let what I went through color how she saw me. So relationships matter. Not only that, who's challenging you to do bigger and better? So what did she say to me? So 7, 8 figures, da da da. She was just saying it. And I was feeling like 8 figures. Like things I couldn't even imagine. I was talking about imagining. It's here. So think about that, right? I worked hard. I didn't make dumb mistakes as a CEO. I made dumb mistakes. But I have never met a CEO who had a clean ride as a CEO. I've never met an entrepreneur who didn't make dumb mistakes, pay for things that didn't turn out right, pay for things that didn't have a return on investment, paying for people who look good on social media but have no real background. I've done it. Everybody's done it, right? So I'm going to go and see what's in the comments because, again, I'm trying to learn this. Laura Lee Leonard, thank you for sharing your heart and experience. Thank you for being here, Laura Lee. Tony Shub, Dr. Tony Shub. When you've made progress pitching to a customer, but you are still largely pre-revenue, what do you focus on in the pitch and how do you show funders your potential, especially in a debt? So Tony, thank you for asking this question because this is basically in my zone of genius or my wheelhouse. So when you've made progress pitching to the customer, but you are largely pre-revenue, what do you focus on in the pitch? So that means like you have a product or service and this would be your first customer. I'm just asking clarifying questions because I'm not sure what I understand. And how do you show funders your potential? So I'll answer the show funders because I'm not sure about the first one. What you're really asking me. So how do you show funders, grant people who organizations that give out grants, investors? When I started, I had to have my numbers in check, right? So not just my numbers, but really understanding the real market, not just what you see online. What is the real market? So I spent time crafting this business plan. I was in the New York Public Library Science, Industry, and Business Library. I was friends with the business librarians because there were things that I didn't understand. Like, yes, it's great to have facts, figures, and statistics, but how does that relate back to what it is you're doing? So think about it. When I started Curvy Girls Lingerie, there's a lot of information on the intimate apparel market, but not necessarily plus size. It wasn't like this is 10, 12 years ago. So I had to extrapolate what was in the numbers and how would that relate. And then I had to go to other surveys and other data and bring it in to make the compelling case. When you know there are over 40 million women size 14 or larger in the United States, just like me, if they're having a hard time finding clothes that are sexy and cute and vibrant, then you know they're going to have a problem with intimate apparel. They're probably wearing the wrong type of bras and panties because they don't think they deserve anything but black. What if you introduce color? Like what I see Lizzo doing, do you know I was doing that back in the day? I had vision, but I had to bring them into the vision, right? So even if you get into statistics, relate it back to what you're doing. If you're having a hard time finding it, look at different types of ways to come at this. And that's what great business librarians are there for, to help you and to ask these clarifying questions that make sure that when investors read your executive summary, or if you're pitching or you're sending out things for grants, it does make sense, right? So after we get the 40 million women size 14 or larger, knowing who the competition really is and even your indirect competitors, right? So even though Victoria's Secret, Journal, Wolf, or Agent Provocateur made no products for women my size, but wouldn't it be nice to go in and actually see it? Well, it didn't exist. Or you had mom and pop stores where everybody didn't know where to go. And so I went into every lingerie boutique, hole in the wall in Manhattan, Brooklyn, and the Bronx. I went into everyone and documented because I was serious about showing that not only do I have my primary research, my secondary research, this is what I'm committed to. I'm committed to going to conferences. I'm committed to, because I need to see what is really missing and what is my angle. What is my angle? When they say bet on the jockey and not the horse, listen, I'm sure a lot of people could come up with plus size lingerie, but they didn't at the time. Just because you're seeing it today, there's somebody with a vision years ago, and that was me and probably some other people. Another thing, do you own your intellectual property? One of the hardest things that I went through is starting all of this great, and then I got an email from some woman who was saying she was confusing me with another company. And then that led to this company had, put in a trademark. Anyway, at the end of the day, what could have been ugly was actually solved between me and the other company that's in California. But what if it wasn't? All the hard work I did with that name, and of course, we didn't have the same name. I just want to make sure we did not have the same name. But I did not protect my name, Curvy Girls Lingerie. I didn't protect it. Things are different today. I didn't have the money, all things, but these things happen, right? So protecting your intellectual property, so they want to know, not only do you have skin in the game, what did you put into this? Even if you're pre-revenue, what did you put into this? Time, money, resources. Who's on your advisory board? So this all may sound like, oh, it's everything you know. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Because there's a lot of generic business plans, and you can read them and just be like, I'm through. You can read a lot of generic grant applications and you can feel the generic in it, and you're not going to be seen. So personalize it. Put yourself in there. Put the women the women, the men, whoever your customers are, personalize them. Make them real. And so to go to to the first part of your question, I wasn't sure. Are you reaching out to who you hope is your first client, your first customer? When I started making videos. And I think the book really was a game changer. Because if I say I am that great at it, I had to write a book on it, put it out there and see what would happen. That gave me credibility when it debuted at number 1. It gave me credibility that people started to book me based on my book. My first book signing was actually when my book came out at Price Waterhouse, and I was speaking at this keynote at a conference. And I had brought 20 books. Y'all, how ridiculous was that? So, gone that quick because I didn't think anybody would buy it. Again, so come at things from a different angle. Yes, you probably have all the facts and statistics, but they have to be personalized. You have to put a person on the clients that you're serving. When I started, I would sell to anybody, and it's nice. When you put your own skin in the game, you get respect. And I'm telling you, when I was on Shark Tank, in fact, when I was in, now that I'm the co-host and the pitch trainer of this new television show, that was something that was always clear. What have you actually done? People are tired of ideas. Like, ideas can be a dime a dozen, but you have to execute on them. You have to execute on them. Do something. So if you're putting out maybe a video or two, maybe you're testing the waters with, creating questions. Like, you want people to see that people are looking for what you have, even if they haven't purchased yet. Tony, I hope that answered your question. Dr. Tony Shu. I didn't think of leveraging the IP. Nice. I also didn't think of putting in my skin in the game. You already know, Queen. You know how we do. So everyone, again, I'm so thankful that you all are here for the Keeping It Real with the Killer Pitchmaster show. This episode is #Soul Sunday. Ask me anything about my CEO journey. One of the greatest things about me, and I'm probably going to go out of here in the next 5 minutes because I have to take my computer to the store. If you like what you heard today, or if you need help on your pitching, whether you're doing your sales pitch, your elevator pitch, your media pitch, your investor pitch, your sales pitch, or your speaker pitch, check out my free quiz. Go to pitchingforprofit.com. That's pitchingforprofit.com. I want you to go to pitchingforprofit.com and take my free 6-question quiz. Algorithm will do its thing, and it'll show you where you are in your pitching journey right now and how to improve upon it. Again, it's free. So go to pitchingforprofit.com, take the short quiz, and let it guide you, okay? For those of you who were interested, as you can tell, I've written best-selling books. My first is Bad Bitches and Power Pitches for Women Entrepreneurs and Speakers Only. This is the psychology of pitching. So if you've ever wondered, what can really set you apart is knowing the 7 branding personas of pitching, right? In all my time of being the Killer Pitch Master, being a 13-time national champion who managed to take my skill set and make it into an art form and create Perfect Pitches by Precious, there are 7 branding personas that I always met when it comes to selling and putting yourself out there, getting your business known, attracting VIPs. But you have to know who the 7 branding personas are so that you can create the type of pitches that in my second book, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches, the workbook, I have prompts in here. Once you know who you are, the 1 or 2 branding personas you're in, then you get this workbook because I'll ask you different prompts. So even though there are 6, 7 different pitch types, you'll still be before different audiences. Some of you were speakers. Some of you will want to tap into a different market. How do you attract them while also making sure you stay in your persona? My third book is Pitching for Profit, the Bad Bitches Playbook to Convert Conversations into Currency. And that's about when you get your pitches, when you have them all together, I'm going to show you how to leverage relationships. I'm going to show you how to build and rebuild your network and get people to pitch you in spaces you didn't even know existed. Yes, that's how I've gotten to certain places. There were places people put me in that I had no idea about. There were organizations that I had no idea about. So I'm going to show you how to get to where you wanted to be. And it's not as difficult as you think once you have the right people in your network and you teach them how to pitch you, okay? So my Triple Threat Pitch book bundle, you can get it on my website. Sorry about that, y'all. My website is www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. Again, that's www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. And you can go to the Work With Me page or Work With Me page, and the Triple Threat Pitch book bundle is right there. You can get yours now. And for those of you who may be in the Boston area on event, so I'm going to Boston this Wednesday. We have an event on Thursday. It's called the Women's Soiree, and you're gonna meet dope speakers and authors like me. We're gonna have our books there, but not only that, it's a great network experience at a beer garden. No, I don't drink, but y'all are gonna be there chopping it up. So if you want access to that, let me know. If any of these links is what you want, make sure to put it in the comments or find me on LinkedIn at Precious L. Williams, Killer Pitchmaster. Connect with me. Try to connect with me and tell me what links you want, and I'll be able to get that to you faster because I have to leave and get this computer on over to the store. I really thank you all for being here. Again, you can always check out my services, my products, my $27 Pitch and Speaker One workbook. So for those of you who are speakers and y'all need to get it out there, y'all want to attract people to you, let's get the workbook together. And then with the Canva templates, you're going to be outstanding. So again, I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. And if you have other questions, drop them in the comments, and also check me, go into LinkedIn and just, hey, Precious, I need this link. Hey, Precious, I was thinking about this. Do you help with that? More times than not, I can. But please, thank you all so very much for being here for another exciting edition of the Keep It Real with the Killer Pitchmaster show. It is #Soul Sunday. I wanted y'all to ask me anything about my CEO journey, how that relates to your journey, Love, love, love you all. My name is Precious Williams. I am the Killer Pitch Master and now the Pitch Queen. My fourth book, The Pitch Queen, is coming out in September 2022. You can get it in pre-sales, available right now on Kindle, on Amazon. And in the next week or two, we're going to roll out with some great, great pre-sales things for the Pitch Queen. So if you want to roll with the Pitch Queen, if you've already bought the other books, we got a deal for you too. Come through. Yeah, we honor people who are loyal. So thank you. And I'm a message. You remember where Biggie said, I'm not only the client, I'm the player president. I'm not only the client, I'm the pitching president. Do you remember that song by G Unit? Hate it or love it, the underdog's on top. And I'm going to shine, homie, until my heart stops. Envy me. I'm pitching's MVP, and I ain't going nowhere, so you should get to know me. Think about yourself as a celebrity of your own brand. As much as you want to cape for others and show up for them, I need you to show up for yourself. You're worth it. Let's go kick butt together. There are 3 comments, and I'm going to bounce. Okay. Shannon, hey Queen, how are you? How are you? I'm glad you're here. Carla, Sunday Inspiration, great to see you. Next time I will have questions. Okay, Carla, because you got to come through, Queen. You got to come through. Shannon, I bought my book. I'm so glad, Shannon. You know the 4th book is coming, The Pitch Queen. Yes. So it's Bad Bitches and Power Pitches, Bad Bitches and Power Pitches, the workbook, Pitching for Profit, the Bad Bitches Playbook to convert conversations into currency, and finally, The Pitch Queen. So I love you all. I can't wait to connect with you. And maybe we'll do round 2 next week so y'all can have questions for me. But if you enjoyed this, if there's someone else you all think should be here and watch this particular episode, put their names in the comments and tell them why they should watch this. I love you all. Again, you can always find me at www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. This is my website, www.perfectpitchesbyprecious.com. You can see my products, my services, working one-on-one with me, working in a group with me. If you want to hire me as a speaker for your event, holla at your girl. Love you all. Mwah. Bye.